Now, as I was walking back to get my stuff, I saw a few of you shaking your head that yes, this was a tangent. So apparently 12 squared plus 16 squared equals 20 squared. Well, I agree, because 12 squared is 144, 16 squared is 256, 20 squared is 400. Does it all work out? Yes, it does. Okay, so in other words, you're telling me I can put a right angle here, which means I could put the right angle there, which means RT is a tangent. So, yes, which makes point R what? The point of tangency. Okay. Now, for those of you that are wondering, well, then 12, 16, 20 must be a triple. And it actually comes from 3, 4, 5. They're all 4 times bigger. Right? 3 times 4 gives you that one, the 12. 4 times 4 gives you 16. 5 times 4 gives you the 20. That works for all the triples. If you multiply them all by the same number, it will also be a triple. Okay? So, for example, 6, 8, 10 would also have to be a triple because we multiplied them all by 2. So keep that in mind. I would not expected any of you necessarily to have seen that on this one. It's okay. But now maybe you'll look for it. It may seem as though there's a typo here. It says determine TR. There's no segment over it. There's no arc over it. It's just sitting there. But that's from way back, I think even maybe chapter 3, where that means find the distance. How far is it from T to R? It tells us the perimeter of this big triangle over here, the big red one here, is 42. Perimeter again means what? Yeah, adding up all the sides, right? And, well, I only see 2 bits of information. I see a 7 and a 6 at the bottom. But will you agree with me that WM tangent and RM tangent and pretty much all of these are a tangent? Well, here's the key on this one. I know I got a point out here, and that one is tangent to a circle, correct? This one is also tangent to the exact same circle, correct? So what do you think about those 2 lines I just drew in green? They better be the same, because it's coming from a point, they're going to the same circle, and they're tangent to the same circle, which means if that one down there is 7, that WM is 7, WK must also be 7. Does that mean that KT has to be 7? Could it be? Could be, but we don't know that yet, so we better not write it in. Well, then where do we go then if we don't know that? Yeah, let's go to MR. We know that's 6, right? And again, here's a point. We know that one there is tangent. From the same point, that's tangent to the same circle. And so RL has no choice but to be 6. Well, now we're kind of stuck because we don't know LT is 6. But we do know that LT and TK are going to be the same whatever that number happens to be, correct? So you could do guess and check at this point, but guess and check to what? We know the total has to be 42. Okay, so you could do that, or what some people do, some people really actually like algebra. I know for some of you that's hard to believe. But they actually would do the algebra. We've got 7 and 7 is 14, 6 more is 20, 6 more is, 26 has been used up, correct? And I have to add those 2 x's in to get to 42, right? So add 2x equals 42. And this is what some of you are doing anyways, it's just you're doing it in your head. You're saying, okay, 42 total, 26 is used up, I have to split the remainder evenly. That's what some of you are doing in your head right now, and that's what we're going to do here for those that like the algebra. So, of course, we would subtract 26, making those cancel. 2x is, well, we would have to borrow. So is that a 6 and a 1? Divided by 2x is 8. The only problem with guess and check is what if the numbers weren't nice? That's the only problem. So each of those are 8. Paul? The question there was if it is a circle and hits all 3 sides, wouldn't it have to be equilateral? No, it doesn't, because again, I could really change things over and put the point there and put the tangencies way all over the place. And so did I make it look like one? Yes, I did. Okay, because of the way I had to make this on the smartboard. And so be careful of that. The whole it looks like it defense, remember, not very good in geometry. You have to be careful. Okay? But good question. You were thinking, well, wouldn't they all work out that way? But unfortunately, I haven't answered the question yet. I found all the pieces, but the question is determine TR. And TR is 14. Okay, so any questions?